Hello, and today on Texture Review we are going to be reviewing the texture of computer. This is my computer. It's probably about 5 years old now. And we'll just start off with the case. Just got a textured plastic for the front panel there. Some nice edgy corners that are pronounced and what bloody ever. Have a plasticky acrylic panels, very smooth and loud. They got little patterny, watteny bits on there, just pronounced little angular bits that just have a little bit of a lump to them. There's a bit of dust on there which feels dusty. We have metal thumb screws to keep the panel on. Those are nice and knurled sort of texture on the edges there to get a nice grip. But if you can't get a good grip, then they have little screwdriver cuts in there which you can use either a Phillips or a flathead to help remove those. But we'll just pull this magnetized dust filter thing off the top, and that's just a funky sort of mesh. It's quite smooth on the top side and a little bit more grippy on the bottom, and we have a magnetic sort of outer edge there which is very, very smooth. Put that back. Have USB slots at the front which feel slotty. The plastic around the hole there is a little bit coarse, like perhaps not the smoothest of cuts or injection mold holes there, but that's okay. Power button, just a little divot in to where it is, so your finger finds it nicely if you're trying to find it when it's hidden behind something. Headphone and microphone jack, which pretty much obsolete these days, but they're still there just in case, and you can't really get much of a feel on them apart from the little divot bit, whatever. Reset button, that's quite hard to press. It's just a small little square about flush with the rest of it. Yes, same acrylic plastic as the side panel there. On the back we have a metal panel which feels the same as the top, which is also metal, and that's just a sort of textured, painted thin bit of metal there. Take it round to the back, and that's quite dusty again. And you've got screws for the power supply mounting, which the power supply is also dusty. Perhaps I should get round to giving this a clean, but I don't have any issues with it at the moment, so it's okay for now. But I should probably get onto it sooner than later. Then we have HDMI and DVI ports, which from on the back of the graphics card, which I can't really finger too well, but the actual cuts on the metal plate are have nice smoothed off edges, so there's no harshness there, which is quite nice. Ooh. Then we have all of the back I/O bullshit for the motherboard, more mic and line in and out and whatever the there's just a little bit of lumpy dumpy on there, and same with these other bloody ones on top, which feel all the same. Can't really feel much else apart from the lumpy bumpy. We have nice threaded bits on there, which feel nice and threaded, for the Wi-Fi adapter, Wi-Fi receiver. Yes. Then all manners of USB and Ethernet and whatever else ports, just all around there. Very nice. BIOS reset button, very nice and pronounced. Handy, very handy. Now we'll spin it back around and open her up. We just have like a rubberized pad behind the screw there, so it doesn't, well, so you don't tighten it too tight and it, I don't know, cracks the fucking side panel or whatever. Not that it would anyway, because it's not glass, so it's quite resilient. It just scratches up quite easily, but that's okay. I don't mind. Alright, got all the screws out. We'll just take it off and fucking toss it aside. And then we have the interior, which we have a nice metal cage, dusty again, around separating the power supply from the rest of it. Dusty all over my SSD, my SATA SSD there, which I actually haven't bolted down. That's okay, because it's not going to move anywhere, because it doesn't have any mechanical parts to make it move. But that's just a small, nice, kind of a softy finish. Soft, yeah, it feels soft. The finish on it feels soft. That's just, yeah, metal casing around the components on there. We have nice fins. Oh, feels nice to run your finger along it. It makes a very interesting sound though, but yeah, they're just nice little thin fins for airflow to cool it down, with the fans which are underneath. It'll pull air in and through and keep it nice and cool, because when you're doing some hardcore gaming, it'll get quite hot, and you don't want it to cook itself, so cooling is good. We have a radiator in the front there that it's like we've got like little sort of pronounced bits go running a long ways, and then little squiggle squaggle bits that the air will pass through to keep the fluid cool. That feels really quite lovely, actually. Got the coolant lines. They're just I don't know, some sort of tube encased in a woven fabric, which again feels really lovely. That's quite nice to touch, but I don't want to fiddle around with it too much, because I don't want to accidentally pop the cable off and spill the coolant everywhere. We have a really smooth maybe glass or plastic face on the side that goes on the on top of the CPU heatsink side, and then it's just a smooth painted metal, painted maybe. I've got more knurled screw things that screw through the heatsink side onto the motherboard to sandwich it onto the CPU to get a nice quality contact for thermal conduction. And that's what you want with that. We have pretty scroungy standard cables that just bunch of small cables that feel like standard cables all scrounged together, so we get a bit of lumpy bumpy across, and then we have some extra connectors there because it likes a lot of plug but not all of the plug. So these are just like a crude plastic with little lumpy knobby bits or whatever to slide into the plugs. We have a few of them that go all around. Got a piece of plastic that I didn't actually pull off 5 years ago when I put it together, and it's just I don't know, some sort of smooth plastic with another different sort of even more smooth plastic there. Got some lumpy dumpy metal heatsinky bits for whatever parts of the motherboard need cooling on there. Sticks of RAM, standard, very nice. That's RAM. Yeah, the actual motherboard silicon is just a nice smooth thing. Then we've got lots of little modules on there which are a different sort of smooth, and I don't really want to get my finger in there too much because there's quite a lot of stuff that can actually be damaged quite easily. But yeah, we've got a fan at the back which is just a plastic thing in a plastic shroud. You don't really need anything more fancy than that, and it just spins and pulls air, and it just got sort of a rough, no we don't, just a smooth edge there, and then it's kind of got a little bit of texture on there and a little bit of smoothness at the tips actually. I guess that's got something to do with airflow. I don't know, I'm not a professional, I just touch it for fun. Yeah, I'd say that pretty much covers the textures for that, at least for what I actually want to touch. So yeah, if you have a computer, do feel free to touch, but just be cautious that depending on what you touch, it could damage it a little bit or a lot, and it could either not be that big of a deal or it could be quite a costly fix. So yeah, computer, of course, the exterior is always going to be fine to touch because that's not where any of the expensive components live. So yeah, that's a computer, my computer. yours or somebody else's will probably feel a little bit different, but that's my one. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing and perhaps sharing it with your friends, and I will see you all again next time. Thank you.